All right, everybody. Welcome to day 27 of my Forex trading journey. Hope each and every one of you are having an absolutely beautiful day so far. As we just saw right there, I went ahead and I got into a buy trade for gold. We see our up arrow right here. Let me go ahead and just circle that for everybody. We see our up arrow right there, telling us that it is time for a buy trade. Candle closed as well, so I'm going to go ahead and take that buy trade, and we will go ahead and we will let that trade play out. And just taking a look at some of the other pairs that we got right here. So nothing on UK oil, nothing on US oil as of yet. There's nothing on gold versus euro, nothing on platinum, nor nothing on silver as of yet. So gold is going to be our only pair that we trade on to start our morning at about 5 o'clock my time. And again, I hope each and every one of you are having a amazing day so far. And I can't wait to get this party started, so to speak. So as we go ahead and as we move forward, let's take a look to see exactly how this trade came into B. I could definitely see that there is a good level of support right over here. So here is our support level. So prices aren't going below this particular point right here. And then just taking a look at the structure so far. So where is my pen? Again, a lot of this you may not need to know. All we really need to know is the fact that I took this buy trade, but I do want to break it down for those that do want a deeper dive into what we're doing. So we had our high point right over here, low point right over here. Now we got another high point right over in this sector, and now we are starting to create that lower point. Now, again, we do see that if I peel the curtain just a little bit, we could definitely see there has been a much more of a higher trend coming into B. I do see that there was a dive within price, just going back into yesterday, but it definitely looks like price is on the up right now, which is how come we want to go ahead and we want to take that buy trade. So we will allow that particular trade to do its thing. But in the meantime, I'm going to come back to one of my favorite books. We're going to go to Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And we're going to talk about another subject on here that I do believe is very important for us to talk about, which is the empowerment of failure. Now, we've heard myself. We've talked about failure in the past. We've talked about the as far as blowing that account, one of the first weeks. So going back to week 3 of our trading journey, then we're seeing how with platinum we've not had that much success on that particular pair as of yet. So it is important to go ahead and do a deep dive on failure. Now I've said before that failure is or setback is not the end, but it is a new beginning with the knowledge that you didn't know, now you do know, in a sense. And that's the thing. We want to think about our most recent and our most heart-wrenching failures. So, I as far as what is a pain point for me so far on this journey, it's a matter of hey, a lot of us saw the fact that I blew a couple of trading accounts so far, and that's not what we want to do while we're in the Forex market. That does not give us a whole lot of courage in order to move forward. Seeing myself blow those particular accounts does not help the credibility point as a teacher, but I do believe it's important to show and cover that because, again, we are all prone to, those failures. No one is invulnerable. No one is invincible from these failures or these setbacks. But what we can do, how we can go ahead and spin that failure, is going to make the ultimate difference as to how we want to go ahead and continue this journey. So again, when I think about that, for instance, I think about as far as heart-wrenching failures are concerned, potentially all the friendships that I couldn't keep or the business partnerships that I couldn't keep, I could look at that in a sense as a failure. I could look at that as a sense of, oh, could there have been things that I've done differently? Is there knowledge that I know now that would have helped me keep those friendships? Sure, right? But even with those most heart-wrenching failures, there's always something to take a positive spin into. Let's say, I was able to learn something from these friendships, these partnerships, these relationships. I'm able to go ahead and apply that now to what I'm currently doing. I'm able to go ahead and apply what it is that I know now compared to what I didn't know back then. And so because of all these setbacks or all these failures of, the trades, friendships, all of that, that in turn, the failures ultimately, to make a long story short, what the failures are going to allow you to do is convert that into wisdom, convert that pain, that heart-wrenching failure into crystallized wisdom, and be able to understand that you can take that with you on your days ahead. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to write all the good things, especially that went well from our failures, right? So as far as some of the friendships that I have failed in, that in turn allowed space for new people or existing friendships that I've had that allowed me to develop and strengthen those relationships a lot better. The friends that I have lost allowed the space that I had for these friends to be replaced with either friends that have helped me carve out a new path towards a new direction, allowed mentors to come into my life that allowed me to move forward in a new direction. The failures allowed me to see, okay, that strategy does not work. When I say that specifically, my trading failures, blowing accounts and all that, that allowed me to see, okay, that strategy does not work. What can we do to go ahead and make that particular strategy a whole lot better? And we want to be detailed and generous with ourselves. And because a lot of good things have happened from those failures. And again, that's just going back to the principle of we can focus on what was wrong from those failures, and we could also focus on what's right from those failures. Tony Robbins. And note how you handled your failure. So, I go back to because I know I got this question, I want to say not yesterday, but the day before about Gobi Trade House. That was the business I was doing, or that was the Forex trade education company I was before. Now I'm with 8 Minute Trader. I'm with Longevity. I am working directly with Salvatore Leto. I'm working with Maurice Katz. I'm working with Dr. Luis Ariaza, and things are going absolutely amazing. Just seeing the growth in our company, seeing all the growth that we have in our young traders, it's absolutely amazing. And once again, I benefit from the fact that I'm able to be partnered with Salvatore Leto. I'm partnered with Dr. Luis Arias. I'm partnered with Maurice Katz, and I am continuing to learn the skill of Forex trading. I'm continuing to sharpen my craft, and that allows me to be able to become a better teacher to you guys. And at the same time, I do look at that failure of and again, not to and when I say failure, I don't mean that, Gobi Trade House is destined to become a failure. In fact, I quite think the opposite. I do wish the absolute best for Gobi Trade House. Um, even though they're not a company I'm focused on right now, I do believe in my heart of hearts that they will become a great company of their own. Now, of course, looking at where I lie now, of course, I'm going to tell everybody that longevity, what we're doing at 8 Minute Trader is absolutely amazing. In fact, I recommend that, for those that are saying, okay, what's next besides these teachings? You have to come into longevity. You have to come into 8 Minute Trader, because though that right there is going to exponentially increase your Forex education tenfold, a hundredfold. If you want to continue to learn this skill and you want something more than, what we're doing right here, if you want that next level, then come over to what we're doing with the 8 Minute Trader. That's the way that you're going to take that step from watching these YouTube videos to coming over and continuing your knowledge game. But coming back to my failure, right? Because Gobi Trade House, I was with that company for I was with Gobi Trade House for, I want to say, since from January 1st of 2021 to about April of 2022, my birthday. And I'm not going to get into what happened, but I will say that, I had a great friendship. I had a great partnership with the leaders there. And again, I don't want to name drop anyone because I don't think that's right, to protect the innocent. But I will say that even as our friendships and partnership failed and, that ultimately caused a rift, I do wish them the best in whatever endeavor they choose to pursue. I do hope that that company is great. And without them, I really wouldn't know the vision of Forex trading. I wouldn't know the networking skills that I have now. I wouldn't be able to, as we had created the Go Be Yourself podcast, I wouldn't have been able to continue my podcast. And without that the Go Be Yourself podcast really influenced how I talk on the microphone, how I speak from a teaching and coaching perspective. That was my first experiment into that. And so if I didn't have that experience that ultimately turned into a failure, I wouldn't have been able to take those skills into what I'm doing now for 8 Minute Trader and longevity. And that's just a straight up fact of my life. And nothing will ever, what's the word I'm looking for? Nothing will change that. And so, again, I come from a place of gratitude. I come from an attitude of gratitude, because what I want to do is I want to say, listen, even though that former partnership didn't work out, even though that was a failure in a sense, right? And I could be open and honest about that. I will say that that Gobi Trade House did have a positive impact on my life. And now with saying that and allowing myself to speak about that, I also feel a little bit more freer and a little bit more lifted in my spirits. And now I can go ahead and continue all the great things that I'm doing with 8 Minute Trader and longevity. And we can move forward. So I mean that's what I mean by saying be detailed and generous with yourself. Because again, we can talk about it's all about the frame. It's all about the mindset, and it's all about telling the story the way that the story should be told. Because it's very easy for me to choose to, well, talk about some of the not so great things about what happened. And I don't want to, again, it's not, that's not the point. We can talk about, the failure and what happened, but I'd rather keep the good memories intact. I'd rather keep the good positive things intact, because that way I won't allow an experience to tie me down or chain me and not be able to continue to move forward. It's all about, for me, it's all about making sure I'm in the moment now. It's all about making sure I don't live in the past, or that I don't come back to the past. And and that even goes to my past friendships. There's always been something I've been so grateful to learn, whether it was a great lesson or whether it was a hard lesson. There's always something that each and every person that's come into my life has taught me. And because of that, I feel that I was able to grow as a better person. I'm just taking a look at all these charts right here while we're talking. But a lot of good things have happened by me being able to take part in these friendships. A lot of good things, great things have happened for me to experience the businesses I've had, experience relationships I've had, and that has shaped me into the person that I've become today. And so this is the way that I handle my failure. This is the way that I handle my setbacks. Because if I can frame it in that aspect and frame it in a some will call me an eternal optimist, and that's absolutely perfect. I've talked about it. I am an eternal optimist. And if I can spin it in that direction, then that only means that I'm able to say to myself, these failures have helped me fail forward rather than help me fail backward. So again, the question would be, how did you think throughout the preparation for and during the execution stage of your failure? Because again, it's all about mindset. Think about every failure that comes across your life. Would you say, and we don't need to get too specific, we don't need to get too crazy, we don't need to get too complex. All you have to do is answer this simple question. Did this particular failure, whatever failure that was, did that failure allow you to, for lack of a better word, help you fail forward? Now, what we can also do is we can go back and make a list of things that we can fix. And we can be brutally honest, write them all out, study them, and look at your calendar and schedule another attempt as soon as possible. So for me, that really just comes back to the trading portion right here. Because again, as we're trading, we've of course had to evolve this particular strategy and what we're doing. And that's with every pair so far: gold, silver, platinum. What else have we done? We've done gold versus euro, UK oil, US oil. Each and every one of these particular pairs, the strategy that we're using, we're basing that off of the evolution of the failure that we had with the first strategy. Platinum in this case has had a little bit more than just a little bit more than just one failure at this point, but that's absolutely perfect. And so by being able to record this on the day on a daily basis, this allows us to go ahead and schedule another attempt as soon as possible to look at that failure and say, okay, this failure has helped me fail forward. I'm going to go back. I'm scheduling another attempt to trade on this particular pair. And I'm at the mindset right now that I won't fail, that I am unshakable to the point that I will crack the code on these pairs. And that is going to allow me to move forward in the right direction. And then as you prepare, keep that after action report handy, consult your accountability mirror, and make all necessary adjustments. So again, that comes back to, my holding myself accountable for the fact that I'm able to review, that I'm able to, not to put more military jargon into this, but am I able to debrief, look over all of my particular videos, take note of what worked, take note of what didn't work, and adjust that for when I'm ready to teach again on the next video or the next episode that I do. And when it comes time to execute, you have a power of a callous mind. We've talked about that, the armored mind. What's going to allow you to keep moving forward? What are the thoughts that you're putting into your head that is saying, okay, this failure happened, but I'm grateful for this failure because now I know the way. The cookie jar. Take some of the victories that you've already had. Take some of the moments that you've said, wait a minute, not all of this was a complete failure. There were some absolutely beautiful moments back in the day. There were some beautiful moments that are happening right now. And so use that as fuel to help you move forward. And then you control your mindset, which dominates the thought process. And guess what? Just because we're talking about failure and how it's able to help me move forward, the beautiful thing is I'll still fail. I'll still have a setback somewhere. I don't know when that particular moment will come. I don't know how that particular moment will come, but I know that that challenge will be there. And if I fail again, I take the pain and repeat the steps and I keep fighting. And by doing that, it certainly allows for a couple of things. One, by understanding that I could take the failure again, that allows the pain of failure, the pain of rejection, the pain of, whatever you want to call it based on trading or whatever, however you want to apply that principle to your life, you know that you can go ahead and you could do it again. As now there is a better way to do that particular action. Because as we talk about trading, one thing I understand about trading is that some of the principles that we're going to learn in trading, some of the character that we're developing as we continue to trade can also be applied to other points in our particular life. We don't necessarily need to just limit our perspective mindset on trading itself, but there's so many other things that this could apply to. As I've mentioned earlier, there are other ways that I can take the teachings of David Goggins and reflect and teach it, not just in a state of trading, but also in a state of, other aspects of my life. And so by doing all this, by understanding what failure is and how we can review failure, how we can interpret failure, and how we can fail forward using failure, well, then it should be absolute motivation to understand that you can continue to try and try again until we get the results that we desire. Oh, I'm just taking a look right here. Okay, some things have happened in the market. But I mean, that's the beautiful thing, is that we just continue to see where we are, continue to see where we're at, and understand that we have the power, we have the objective of just wanting to keep going. We persist until we succeed, and we go ahead and we look for the best ways that we can take some of the power we get from failure and apply that to what our goals are, what our dreams are. And from there, we make that a reality. All right, everybody. So I guess that's sometimes the benefit of not being, I was going to close that trade. I saw, 30 pips, and then wait, I got to make sure I record, make sure people know that I am trading. And we ultimately got out of that trade with 40 pips, which is nice. So again, not patting myself on the back. We're just going to say, hey, we got a winning trade today. We were able to go ahead and we're going to be able to take the victory right here. And we can go ahead and, chalk that one up for gold and look for the next opportunity. That's all we really need to frame in terms of that particular trade right there. As far as everything else is concerned, so we've got UK oil, nothing, US oil, nothing. Fact, I'm curious though, because I haven't checked the spread or the swap fee, how that works, which we'll talk about it, I'm sure, at some point. Okay, I see that's how that works. Cool. Gold versus euro, we don't have anything on that pair yet. We've got platinum right here, nothing on that pair yet, and silver, nothing on that pair yet. Okay, perfect. So in that particular case, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wait for our next trade opportunity on one of these pairs. And once I have that particular trade opportunity, I will let everybody know. All right, everybody. So I could see that we have a down arrow for UK oil. So that means a sell trade. The candle is closed. So we're going to go ahead and place a sell trade right there. Now, I could definitely understand how come we're doing that. So we could definitely see that we've had a downtrend for a little while. We did have an up arrow beforehand, but as far as what we're looking at grand picture wise, I could see that this was at one point a good level of support, but still, it definitely, just taking a look at the bigger picture, I could see more so a more downtrend picture, especially if I drag it from the highest point that we have right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to execute a sell trade on UK oil, and we'll allow that particular trade to play out. As far as everything else is concerned, nothing on gold. We just took about a 40 pip win on gold. Where right now we are on the sell trade right over here with UK oil, US oil, nothing. Gold versus euro, nothing. Platinum, nothing. And right now we also have silver as nothing as well. So I'll keep my eye out on UK oil. We'll go ahead and we'll see exactly how this particular trade plays out. And once I have further updates, I'll let you guys know. All right, everybody. So we finally got something on silver. So I'm going to go ahead and take a buy trade on silver. In fact, the up arrow that was previously over here has gone ahead and has moved over to the next position right here. So we're going to go ahead and monitor that for a potential another buy trade on silver. Now, I can definitely see why that was called. Now, I'm also taking into equation that we do have some red folder news coming up in the next 15 minutes. So in the next 15-minute candle, we're going to see how crazy this particular market can get. So we're going to be very cautious, and we're going to keep our eyes and ears peeled on what happens to silver. So what I'm going to do, this is where UK oil is. So I'm going to move that right here. Silver is right here. So I'm going to move it up to the top. That way I have these two on lock, and I can monitor them as needed. But just taking a look right here, we were at one point in time in a particular downtrend. And then as we started to move in the market, we saw that there was then this uptrend right here, and this is our what we call our higher low in the market. So again, over at this part right here, prices were going down within a downtrend, a bear market right over here. So prices were creating lower highs, prices were creating lower lows, and price kept going down. Then there was a particular point in time where prices, instead of creating lower lows, it got to a point where price created a higher low right here. So I can actually draw the lower high at this point. Then the higher low was over at this point right here before prices shot up to this point right here, which allowed us to then have our buy position right over here. So what that broke down to, all that analysis right there, is really we're in a buy trend right now. We're in a bull trend. Prices are continuing to increase. So we want to go ahead and buy just where we bought, which was the close of this candle. And then ultimately in the next 15 minutes, we want to go ahead and take a buy position again on silver when the time comes. So I'm going to monitor that just as I'm monitoring UK oil. So I'm monitoring two open trade positions right now. And then as far as everything else is concerned, nothing on gold, nothing on US oil, nothing on gold versus euro, and nothing on platinum as of yet. So I'll be monitoring these two particular pairs, and I will keep everyone further updated. All right, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and close that sell trade on oil. It did reach 30 pips. I was just a little too late to pull the trigger right there, but that's perfectly all right. I will be okay with 23 pips. I'm not going to complain about that. So we've gone ahead and we've closed our trade on oil. So now our main primary focus is on silver. That still shows the buy arrow right there. So we're going to go ahead and we will still pay attention to that. And then just taking a look at everything else, gold still not ready, oil still not ready, We have got gold versus euro. That is not, in fact, let me do this so I can see a little bit better. Yes, gold versus euro is not ready, and platinum is not ready as of yet. So, with that being said, we're still going to go ahead and we're going to keep our eyes out on silver. And again, if I have a further update, anything changes, I will definitely let you guys know. All right, everybody. So this is where the news is going to kick in. So let's see exactly what happens here. Again, right now it's about 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're about to see exactly how this red folder news impacts silver. So we're about to find out at some point. Don't know when, but everything else right now is we do have platinum for a buy arrow right there. So we'll probably need to move that up here just a little bit. But we're about to see soon exactly what. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's exactly what happened with silver right there. So, and platinum is also on the way down. We've got UK oil on the way down. I'm assuming gold is going to go on the way down as well. US oil is going down, and euro went all the way down as well. So, very, 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 very interesting here. Okay. Well, all right then. I mean, that's the beautiful part, right? Like, so we saw exactly what could happen, when red folder news impacts. It could either be of benefit to us or it could be at a detriment to us. So absolutely perfect. No worries. We'll go ahead and we'll keep our eyes on these pairs right here. Yeah. Okay. So that is the news in a nutshell. Now, what all this means, by the way, is that the so normally on around the 6:30 mark right here, the 8:30 mark right here, uh, a.m. Eastern Standard Time, is that if prices are going down like this, that means there has been strong news that is beneficial to the American dollar. So right now, what we're seeing right here is news, or the red folder news, or the news that we were looking at or paying attention to, that is impacting the US dollar in a positive way instead of a negative way right here. So with that being said, that gives us a little bit more of a credence as to what's going on in the market. So with the red folder news there, we are going to go ahead and wait to see exactly what happens here, whether we get exactly when we'll get a further opportunity. And once that happens, I'll definitely let you guys know. All right, everybody. So it took a little bit, and of course, there was a little bit of craziness in the market, but I have gone ahead and found an opportunity that I'm going to go ahead and trade, and that is platinum. So right now we're in a, excuse me, we're in a platinum trade right now. Oh, that reminds me, I need to go back to my high point. It's 87.608, and that's okay. We'll just put that at 150 points. So that would be 877.61. Put that right there. Okay, so that is right there. So we'll go ahead and we'll see how that platinum trade plays out. We do have the down arrow moving to the next candle. So as long as that candle closes with the down arrow intact, we'll go ahead and take that particular trade. So I'm going to move that to the top, since that is going to be the pair that we need to concentrate on. Right now, I don't have anything on silver. I do have something on oil, UK oil, that's going to be taking place here within the next about 4 minutes. So we'll worry about that. So I'm going to actually move that over to the top as well. Did I hold on? Hold on. Where are you? There you go. Put that right here. Okay, awesome. So we've got that right there. Let's go over here to
Okay, nothing else right now. So we've got right now we're working on trades for platinum and we are also working on trades for oil. So I will be on oil within the next 3 minutes for a trade. And in that particular case, I'm going to go ahead and allow myself to see how platinum does. I'm going to wait to see what UK oil does, how that candle closes. Oh, okay. So I'm actually going to place a buy right now because our arrow or our price broke my point where I need to go ahead and put a stop to that trade. So we have done that, which is quite all right. So we're going to see how that candle closes within the the next 13 minutes. We've got UK oil within the next 3 minutes. We'll see how that closes out as well. And once I have a further update for you guys, I will definitely let you know. All right, everybody. So I'm going to place a sell trade on UK oil. We could definitely see that the candle still closed with the down arrow pointing intact, and we're definitely in a downtrend right now. Now, I would imagine that if price gets to break this point right here, that logic may indeed change. But at least for right now, I could see that we're still in a downtrend. Currently, our candle has indeed moved over to the next candle. So as long as that candle closes at that point, in fact, what is that high point right there? So that would be 92.09. So, I mean, it's not going to be right at that line, but I could tell if we indeed see it break that point, then that down arrow may indeed change. But as of right now, okay, as of right now, the down arrow is still there. It's not broken that point yet, so I will go ahead and allow that particular trade to indeed play out. In the meantime, we've got platinum. We're still waiting within the next 9 minutes to see how that particular how platinum still holds on there. And then again, we're just looking at UK oil to see how that indeed works as well. Everything else, I'm still waiting on to see if we get an opportunity for those pairs. So once I have a further update on some of our pairs. So again, just to recap, we worked on gold and silver earlier this morning. Now we're working on oil and also platinum. So that's kind of the cool thing about how the markets shift in a way is the fact that, what we do in the morning doesn't necessarily mean or doesn't necessarily what's the word I'm looking for, does not translate to what we may do the rest of the day. Different opportunities come at different times of the day for different instruments, and all we get to do is go ahead and embrace those opportunities. So I will go ahead and we will work on these pairs, and once I have further updates, I'll let you guys know. All right, everybody. So I want to go ahead and just come back on before we wrap up day, I believe it's 27. Don't hold me on that. You'll probably get an accurate depiction of it when this video goes live. But yes, today's day is indeed done. Day 27 is indeed in the books. And as we could see, I'm just going to give a wrap up on everything. So we did win one trade on UK oil, lost one. For platinum, we lost our trade right there. For gold, we were able to win our trade on gold. For silver, we were not able to win our trade on silver. We did not trade oil, nor did we trade. Yep, nor did we not trade on gold versus euro, but that's absolutely okay. Again, we move forward day by day, step by step, trade by trade. And as we trade and as we continue to do these days, we always learn something that is going to help us make sure that we move forward in the right direction. So we got one more trading day tomorrow. That will be, yes, it is going to be day 28 will be tomorrow. That'll wrap up our trading week. And I'm very excited to be showing you how we're going to do or how we're going to carry out day 28. So with that being said, this has been Jordan Rosario. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop a comment in the YouTube channel video that you are seeing down below. Also reach me on Facebook. My Facebook is Jordan Rosario. You can reach me on Instagram. My Instagram is Jordan Rosario 777. You can also follow me on Twitter at WC_Ambrosario. And of course, I'm working on a website. I do have some content I want to go ahead and drop a little bit later just to give everybody an update on how that's going. But I'll have a website soon, and you'll be able to also check that out in the future. But with that being said, everybody, I hope each and every one of you has an amazing, beautiful rest of your day. And as always, happy trading.